Hear out what DLF's investors, its home buyers, are claiming. We are joined in our studio by Vishal Salgotra. He bought a home in DLF Capital Greens, Shivaji Marg, Moti Nagar, Delhi. We also have Mr. Ramamurthy. He bought a home in DLF Express Greens, Manesar. Both these projects are delayed about 2 to 3 years. And we'll also get a legal perspective on all of this from Vinay Singh, founder and owner, Vinay Singh and Associates. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today. You heard what DLF just said. We played a phone conversation with them. Are you convinced with their reasoning? They claim there's nothing to worry for investors. What do you say? Are you convinced?
I guess a lot of things that Mr. Talwar said is something new to us. Sharing information is one of the greatest concerns, for people like us. We have invested our money, and we are looking forward to more information coming in from DLF. But that has not happened over the past years. So we have 2,800 buyers who have put in their money, and they are looking for more information coming in, and that has been our biggest concern. And some of the concerns that really if you look into has been regarding compensation. It has been more than 3 years since 33 months deadline was given to the buyers. There are two kinds of buyers. One are original allottees, the other one are buyers from the market. So the buyers from the market are not eligible for any compensation at all as per the agreement that was signed by DLF, and the original allottees are not given any compensation whatsoever under the force majeure clause. So that's what it is, and it's like a double whammy for buyers, because they pay for the capital that they have taken for the banks as in terms of EMI. The other is they're paying their rents, and they don't recognize any association. They don't share any information. So that has been our, and a lot of buyers are very, very concerned about the information coming in, and they want to know more.
Okay. Mr. Murthy, would you agree with their reasoning that there are larger macro factors which have led to these delays? We know the real estate sector suffers from approvals coming in very late. That takes about 18 to 20 months. They're talking about labor shortage. What do you seek from them? He spoke about builder-buyer agreements, honoring the clauses in those. What do you seek from DLF now?
See, according to my information, selling apartments without approvals is unlawful. This is what I understand. You can't just collect the money and then start getting approvals and then keep promising, because all of us are, end of the day, it's a hard-earned money. There are a lot of people in the age group of 30s. This is the first time they're buying a house and they're having a problem. Now, what Mr. Talwar has mentioned is too general. I think he has given an overview of DLF across the country, whereas I think this program is confined to only a couple of projects. I don't agree with him about this labor shortage, because the Bihar labor goes all the way to Chennai to complete the project, whereas he can't come to Gurgaon. I can't understand this. You take Bangalore, for example. They also have one project, Western Heights, which is as old as Express Green and Capital Greens. There is absolutely no idea. People are crying there. Whereas they have started another project in Bangalore. It is absolutely fast track. Almost all the floors have been completed. I mean, whatever he is giving is completely inconsistent. I mean, I don't agree, with due respect to Mr. Talwar. I don't agree. Number two, we buyers have given 95% of the money. He can't deny that. Where is the question of global meltdown, all the stuff? For every money that we have paid, if someone has not paid, he is charging 15%, 18% interest. What is worse, for the delays, the compensation that we are supposed to get, 5 or 10 rupees per square feet, is not available if I have delayed one payment, notwithstanding the fact that I have paid overdue interest for that. If somebody is a second buyer, somebody has bought from someone, not from DLF, he is also not eligible for delay compensation. When all these tricks they are not good for a company like DLF. They are supposed to be claiming that they build India. Yeah. I mean, they should set example to the rest of the industry. But unfortunately, all the builders in Delhi NCR, they copy their agreement. They follow all the wrong practices of DLF. Everybody is following it. I'm sorry to say this. I mean, global meltdown is it's a past story. Yeah. 2008-9, almost all the companies have come out. And more so when the buyers have given 95%, what is the problem? Now today in our case, if you take, we are in a court case. Now the government of Haryana promulgated an ordinance and builders bought land from farmers. The authority that registered the land, all the lands, they ought to have gone to the sale deed, which was sold at 25 lakhs, whereas the guy who is buying it is going to get only 10 lakhs of rupees.
That
so
comes
prima
in the
facie,
regulatory
no,
realm,
these are issues.
Right.
Now, point is that today everything is substantially complete. Now we are stuck because the case is going on in Chandigarh. We don't know when is it going to happen.
Those
So
are larger
the delays,
extraneous issues. I'd like to bring Vinay into this. Vinay, DLF, one of India's biggest real estate developer, and the company by its own admission now says that they're looking at more realistic completion timelines. 3 years, they say company in its whole competitive drive set some impossible standards. 3 years to complete a project, they say, is now impossible. Look at more realistic timelines of 5 to 6 years. Is this a positive indication from India's biggest developer for the rest of the industry, because they end up setting quite a standard for the rest of the industry, all the players?
Hello. So the one good thing is that they are finally admitting that the timelines they gave you were not realistic. So that's a really good sign. I think the basic problem lies again, with the way builders stonewall you when things go wrong. A large part of the problem is that the buyer does not know where he stands, actually what is happening, and whether that project is going to, get completed in the near future, distant future, or not at all. So I think one thing that these builders could do is take the investors into confidence and be a little more transparent with them. With a group of this size and you're claiming that you've got 60, 70 years reputation, one expects something more than just stonewalling. So if that one area can be addressed, of course we've discussed this many times as to what needs to be done. There is a lapse on the part of the government agencies in probably not giving approvals on time, but that's just one part of the problem. The other part is they are giving you unrealistic deadlines. They are launching projects without approval. So obviously there is going to be a delay, because you are collecting money today saying that I will do the project. You don't have the approvals in place. You take another year or two to get the approvals. So who's going to pay for that delay? And on the other hand, you have got one-sided agreements where you are either bound to pay nothing or you're bound to pay a pittance. Whereas if the poor investor either defaults or delays payment, you will either cancel his allotment, or you will take some heavy penalty from him. So these are issues which somehow need to be sorted out, in terms of law.
Vinay, we've had many developers come on the show and talk about how capacity execution, that's been a huge constraint for everybody across the industry, labor shortage. So DLF has also cited these same reasons. Is that a valid defense?
I don't think that's a valid defense. See, you are a developer. If you are going to construct a project of this size, you have already planned for it. You know what kind of labor requirement you have, you know what kind of material requirement you have, you know what kind of capital requirement you have. It's not right for you to now stand up after your project is stuck and say, okay, oh, there was a labor shortage. Well, why didn't you plan for it? We expect something better from a group of your size. So I don't think that's a valid argument at all to say that there was a lack of material or lack of labor. Unacceptable, simply.
Vishal, you said that there's been a lack of communication with your developer. What do you think they could have done differently with regard to especially the builder buy agreement that you feel is not being honored?
Yeah. Let me give you an example. We came to know as a group that there was some labor problem at the site. So we tried, finding it out as to what it is. So, finding it out, is there an official line from them? But we got nothing. So, ultimately there was a dharna done by the association in April, and after that we got a written reply, from DLF that there has been a labor problem, because of which, a labor commission has not asked them to, further construct the flats. So, if DLF was more proactive with the information flow, if they would have actually given, we have also suggested a steering committee wherein, the buyers are also part of it, so we get the continuous information flow. A lot of anxious people would have, understood, where we stand, but nothing has come and, from DLF as an initiative. So as a result, the frustration within the group has been rising. So that has been a very, very, grave concern, with us, apart from all the other issues that we have discussed.
Right. Vinay, looking at DLF's track record of delivering projects, there has been substantial deliveries there as well. These two projects facing few delays. what would you say DLF's approach should be now, or should buyers worry? In their statement to us, in their conversation with us, they did state that they have planned in advance, they have factored in these developments, and they have planned their finances well. The SEBI order, the CCI order is not going to impact them. Should buyers take heart? Should their investors take heart, or would you still advise caution?
Well, I would think that the buyers should keep their fingers crossed and proceed with caution both. If you see the amount of bad news that seems to be coming, you've got a penalty which is confirmed, you can't raise capital from the market, there are other small issues, there is a stay order here. So if the sum total of it is, it's not going to be very easy for DLF to deliver on their commitments, regardless of what may have happened in the past. And I think the best way forward for them right now would be to take these investors into confidence, assure them of timelines with some concrete evidence, and also compensate them wherever possible in a manner which is befitting, not some small pittance. So I think if these few confidence building measures come forth, and as was rightly pointed out, why don't you have a committee where the flat buyers are involved? One flat buyer going out and saying that, listen, I am convinced that there is a problem, but it will get sorted out, will speak volumes much more than any builder can convince the investor community. So I think they should really look at these kind of measures.
All right, honor its commitments. It's going to be a crucial time for DLF if it wants to retain its brand value in the minds of its home buyers, its investors, be it the SEBI order or the CCI order. What matters is the verdict of the home buyer, and for that they need to honor their commitments, especially those stated in the builder-buyer agreements. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on the show today.
Thank you.